So basically, I decided to move to Kurdistan. I was already going to Kurdistan since 2009 for longer periods, but I rented a house in Erbil in May 2014. But at that time, I didn't know the Islamic State was coming to Iraq and that they were going to take Mosul in June 2014. So in June, they took Mosul. At that time, the Kurds were not very worried. They were not afraid that ISIS would try to attack the Kurdistan region. And they said that this was a conflict between Baghdad and the oppressed Sunni community who was living in the areas that ISIS took. They were arguing this is a sectarian conflict between the Shia that dominated Baghdad and the Sunnis that were living in the center of Iraq, including in Mosul. But to everybody's surprise, in August 2014, ISIS attacked the Kurdistan region. I think it was because they understood that at some point Kurds would be pushed to fight against ISIS anyway by the West. So in August 2014, while Kurds 1 month before were talking about Kurdish independence, ISIS attacked the Kurdistan region. They first attacked Sinjar, and then they also attacked other areas like Zumar. They quickly took a lot of areas to the fear of many, and even they started to get closer to Erbil. So all the Americans they were leaving. There was an American student calling me, "What should I do?" But I really didn't have time for him because I was very busy myself. So me and my housemate were stocking food and water, and we were preparing basically for the worst conditions, because we didn't even have a car to escape if ISIS would get really close to Erbil. And also ISIS was sharing like pictures online on Twitter and the social media showing that they're inside Erbil, and they had one small video close to a mall showing that they were driving around in a car with ISIS music on. So this showed that they were there, and basically they're trying to make people scared, and it really worked. Because people in Erbil and even also in Dohuk, they were leaving towards the mountains because that's the only refuge Kurds had. But then, to the surprise of many, the US government, they decided to intervene. And I think in around 4, 5, 6 August, the US started with the first airstrikes on Islamic State positions. And from that moment, the Kurdish Peshmerga, they slowly pushed back ISIS from those areas, and they recaptured them. So at that point, Erbil was safe again, and there was no more idea that ever ISIS could get to that point after the US started to decide to support the Kurds, that they could get again closer to the capital of Erbil. But still, there's a lot of conspiracies now in the Kurdistan region, like why did ISIS decide to attack the Kurdistan region? Because a lot of people still don't understand why they took this decision. But most likely it's because of all the oil resources in Kurdistan and the idea that at some point the Kurds would again work with Baghdad and America to attack ISIS. And also, for instance, in Sinjar, where all the Yazidi women were enslaved and their men were killed and their children were kidnapped. It was an important city between the two cities of Raqqa and Mosul. So for ISIS, it was very important to take the road between Sinjar and Mosul. Between Sinjar, Mosul, and Sinjar and Raqqa. So they had a highway between Raqqa and Mosul, and that's, I think, the reason that ISIS also decided to take Sinjar. So that was a very strange moment. It was an Armageddon feeling. Everybody's fleeing and buying water and food and trying to prepare for the worst case scenario, which is an Islamic State invasion of Erbil.